Hey there, Cam fam! With the new year upon us, now is the perfect time to work toward new goals, such as mastering English idioms. After all, if you've ever heard phrases like kick the bucket or bite the bullet and wondered what buckets or bullets have to do with anything, you're not alone. English idioms can be really tricky, but don't worry, I've got just the thing to help. Introducing my new book and video course, 50 plus useful English idioms to boost your fluency with real-world phrases and pronunciation tips. This isn't just another boring basic idiom book that only provides a definition and maybe a few example sentences for really old-fashioned and outdated English idioms. This travel-friendly book is packed with the tools you need to help you understand and confidently utilize popular English idioms. Whether you're chatting with a native English speaker, watching some English shows or movies, or even preparing for an English exam. As the title suggests, there are more than 50 idioms in this book. In fact, there are a total of 65. And all 65 of these idioms are broken down into easy-to-understand explanations, including their definition, when to use them, how to use them in a sentence, and there's even a fun little fact about the origin of each idiom. Like, did you know that bury the hatchet actually originates from traditional Native American peace rituals? How cool is that? And on top of those detailed explanations, every single idiom comes with a video lesson. That's right. Every idiom has a unique QR code or clickable link if you're using the ebook that will take you to an exclusive video lesson that's only accessible for people that have this book. In these videos, I guide you through a super detailed pronunciation lesson to help you sound just like a native English speaker, and I share even more example sentences so that you can confidently apply these idioms into your daily conversations. It's like having 65 mini private pronunciation lessons with yours truly. In this book, along with the 50 useful idioms, I also included 2 special sections that you won't find in any other idiom textbook. But let's first take a walk down memory lane to discuss the inspiration for these 2 fun chapters. I had actually been thinking about making an idiom book for quite a long time because almost all of my students have been asking me for years about how to effectively learn American English idioms. So back in April, when I began brainstorming ideas for this book, I started out by browsing the idiom books that were available on Amazon, and I'll be honest, I was pretty shocked by how lame they were. Not only were these books completely lacking any information about when to use these idioms or in which context they would be appropriate, they also were full of outdated and old-fashioned idioms that nobody uses anymore. Probably because most of the authors of these books are actually really old. Since these phrases are never used in current TV shows, movies, or even in conversations with native English speakers, it's no wonder that English learners have a difficult time learning idioms. Listen, I don't care what these textbooks or unqualified Instagram English teachers tell you. Nobody says the phrase, "It's raining cats and dogs," anymore. And you have to stop wasting your time learning useless information. So in this book, I have a chapter dedicated to all of those useless, outdated idioms that keep popping up all over on Instagram and in these old English textbooks, and I included their up-to-date alternative phrases so that you can sound like you learned English in 2020 instead of in 1920. In addition, while I was doing my market research and scoping out what a lot of other English textbooks include, I realized that most of the phrases are pretty kid-friendly, which makes sense from a marketing perspective because that way those books are appropriate for audiences of all ages. However, most of my students are teenagers and adults, and they tend to watch shows that include more colorful vocabulary than what's taught in standard English textbooks. So for those students who have always wanted to learn a little bit more of those adult phrases, the Not Safe for Work, or NSFW section is perfect for you. The NSFW section includes 5 frequently used idioms for more mature audiences that you'll definitely come across in popular media. But don't worry, if you are getting this book for a younger student, this chapter is at the very back of the book, so you can easily just rip it out if you don't want your kiddos to read that kind of content. But let's be honest, if your kid has ever been online, there's a good chance that they've already heard or read those idioms before. Whether you're a student, a professional, or someone who just loves learning languages, this book is guaranteed to take your English to the next level. So stop forking over your hard-earned money on boring textbooks teaching you useless phrases without any indication of how or when to use them. And there's no need to feel like you're bending over backwards to learn idioms that native English speakers actually use in their daily lives. Let's make 2025 the year that you reach your English fluency goals. So click the link below to get the ball rolling on your English fluency goals and go to bat for yourself. And soon, you'll be sitting pretty upon your English fluency throne. It's time to kick up your heels and study in a better way with 50+ useful English idioms. And I promise you'll feel like $1,000,000 with the confidence you'll gain from the practical vocabulary and exclusive detailed pronunciation lessons to guide you along your English learning journey.